My name is Jason Klein. I've been a rabbi in the Jewish Reconstructionist movement for nearly 10 years now, and I'm the director of Hillel, the Foundation for Jewish Campus Life, at UMBC. That's University of Maryland, Baltimore County, for all you out-of-towners. When I was in college at Columbia in New York, I met a great guy named Hussein. We were both student leaders who advocated for student organizations that would welcome our particular religious and cultural identities. He for Ismaili Muslims, and I for LGBT Jews. Though it feels so cliche to say, I do remember one summer afternoon having lunch together in a local Chinese restaurant at which we each verified that the food we were about to eat did not contain pork. Well, I'd grown up knowing Muslims, peers in high school, parents, friends, and their kids with whom I would become friendly. I think it was getting to know more about Hussein's background and complex religious identity that was an important lesson for me. While we often try to use a word here or there to label ourselves, to describe our identities, we have to remember that none of us is two-dimensional. Hussein and I haven't seen each other in years, but our paths have crossed in some fun ways. His family moved to the block my sister had been living on in New York City. Now he, a more seasoned scholar with a PhD in years of teaching and writing, recently taught a class called Islam for Rabbis at my rabbinical school. I've worked on UMBC's campus for the past 5 years now. US News and World Report has named us the #1 up-and-coming national university. And while I know that there's so much about our academic record and research opportunities here that give us that title, I also know that our opportunities that students have to interact with one another, real opportunities with other real three-dimensional people who are not just words on paper, people who may be similar to them in many ways and different from them in others, that opportunity is huge on our campus that expressly values diversity in its student body. Hundreds of them who are Jewish, of whom no two are the same, and hundreds of whom are Muslim, of whom no two are the same. When Hussein and I had Chinese food on the Upper West Side of Manhattan in the mid-90s, we were just using web browsers for the first time. Since then, the world has become so much more interconnected, which is wonderful in a lot of ways, and yet it seems that the electronic age sometimes reduces us to information on a page. But when I walk into UMBC's Interfaith Center every day, watch and try to facilitate students from a variety of cultural and religious backgrounds getting to know one another, I'm thankful for people really taking the time and the interest in making these real connections. Want to know more about my fellow American, Hussein Rashid? Check out his website. But remember, that's only the beginning.